Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'm just gonna play Minecraft, but, well, I guess not the kind you would expect, I don't know. Oh my god. Okay, right before I start, I just want to say that there's something wrong with my computer. Like, some textures just don't work, I guess. Yeah. Textures are just glitching. Okay, so what I wanted to say is, like, well, Minecraft's a big game, but, like, you can only go up to the 32-bit limit. Which is 2,147,483,647. But if I try to go here, the game will usually crash. But look at this. The game is not crashing. I am at the 32-bit limit right now, and the game is not crashing. It's meant to crash because Minecraft just can't handle this big number. See, I'm actually able to walk around here. I'm at the 32-bit limit, but like okay, so what I wanted to say is that this video is about the main limits of Minecraft Java Edition. Since they mainly happen on 64-bit coordinates, I need this very, very, very big mod meant for Minecraft release 1.2.5, which takes every 32-bit value and replaces it with a 64-bit value, and also changes the world save code so it actually works, which is actually pretty complicated, but it does allow me to teleport to and past the 32-bit limit. Okay, hold on. Okay, so the first stop is... Okay, so first stop is the Biome overflow. So we're over 2 to the power 35 blocks away, which is where which is roughly the point where things like main biome things like grass and sand, their generation code overflows, causing some parts to just end up like this. So, like, this starts happening past the chunk overflow limit, which is 2 to the power 35 minus 1. And so, like, if you tried to go past that point in normal Minecraft, the game's frame rate would suddenly drop to 0 and stay like that, because chunks start, like, overflowing from, like, x0 to that point. It suddenly starts overflowing, goes from that point back to x0. So yeah, we're very far out, and alright, just let me... Okay. Next stop on the tour. Okay, so this is the point where... This point is relative to 2 to the 19th power in Bedrock Edition. Now, if you can't see this, let me just... Now there's actually a jitter when you're walking. I've already shown this off in Bedrock Edition, but that was at only hundreds of thousands of blocks. In Java Edition, the Persicion loss errors happen at their 64-bit respective coordinates, which is why now I have to go a lot further out for me to actually start seeing a jitter. Okay, so now you may be wondering if the point where you start noticing a jitter when you're walking is at, like, hundreds of trillions of blocks out, then, well, like, When will I run into the stripe lands? So, okay, I'm still recording. So the stripe lands okay, so I've teleported to the coordinates of the stripe lands. I am now 2 to the power... Wait, am I still... Okay. I am now 2 to the power 53 blocks away, or 9.007 quadrillion. But, like, why don't you see the stripe lands? Well, that's because this mod actually has this optional stripe lands fix option, and right now it was just set to on. So, I just turned it off. Voila! These are the Java Edition stripe lands. At 2 to the power 53 blocks, or 9.007 quadrillion blocks from spawn. Well, let's just say, though, they're similar to the Bedrock Edition ones. But, like, I guess they do have a few differences. See, I can go through blocks. Okay, so, as you can see, water and, like, fluids... Okay, I didn't... Water and fluid, like, the fluids, they don't get cut off. They just stretch to fill the gaps. So, starting here, water is now 2 blocks. Water is now 2 blocks wide. And so, it'll go to 4 at the next doubling, so on. Then 8 at the next doubling, and so on. So, like... aside from that, they're, like, basically the usual stripe lands. And with their, you know, effects. So, you're wondering if fluids act like that for the stripe lands in Java Edition, what will I see if I go to the corner stripe lands? Well, you'll see this. As you can see, these are the corner stripe lands, and on the regular, water is just 1 by 1 blocks. On the edge, water is 1 by 2 blocks. And on the corner, water is 2 by 2 blocks. Not that surprising. Okay, so the next stop on our tour is the slice lands. I think I've mentioned those in my Bedrock Edition limits video. But the stripe lands are the next doubling of the stripe lands. And there they are. So I've described blocks suddenly rendering as two-dimensional, and that is the case. Okay, so this is the slice lands. It's where the Persicion loss doubles again, and the gaps are pushed to be, and the gaps in between blocks are now become 4 blocks wide. But in doing so, that breaks block rendering on one axis, which causes it to look as two-dimensional, which is also where water is stretched again to become 4 blocks wide. So as you can see here, all blocks from here just the regular stripe lands, and then all of here is just broken, two-dimensionally rendered, you know. And like, you know, you can see the lava down there. It's being really stretched as well. Okay, so now I've just teleported to the point of where the stripe lands meet up with the slice lands, but also where the corner stripe lands meet up with the slice lands, which I just like to call the edge corner slice lands. See, like, block rendering is still two-dimensional, but there are now gaps in the slice lands, as you can see, where the corner slice lands start affecting it. So what I'm trying to say is, here are the corner slice lands. This is where both corner stripe lands, well, like, no, this is the corner stripe lands, and then the 2 edges are the slice lands. This, the edge, the stripe slice lands, I don't know. This is the corner slice lands. You can't really see it well. But, as you can see, block rendering suddenly stops in... block rendering is now nothing. Block rendering has just become one-dimensional, I guess. I mean, you can still see fluids, which are now like, this is 2x2, this is 2x4. I think this is like 4x4, yeah. Fluids are now 4x4 blocks, and so, yeah, that's the corner slice lands, I guess. Okay. What, you may be wondering, what about the far lands? Well, you may be confused, because if I teleport to the coordinates of the far lands, 12,550,824, there's nothing. So, like, this is Minecraft 1.2.5, so the far lands have definitely been removed. But that's just the 32-bit far lands. See, there's still the 64-bit variation of the far lands, caused by the same glitch, but they're another set of far lands that occurs at their 64-bit respective coordinates. So how do you find the 64-bit respective coordinates? Well, to find the 32-bit coordinates, you just take the 32-bit limit and divide it by 171.103. This gives you 12,550,824. So yeah, so we need to take the 64-bit limit and divide it by 171.103, which gives us something around this monstrosity of a number, 53.905 quadrillion. So let's go there and see the 64-bit far lands. Okay, so first off, it's just ocean, and the gaps in the stripe lands have become 8 blocks wide. Either that or it's 16. Oh my gosh, the water. The water looks so stretched. Now right now I'm facing in the negative X direction. But if we face in the positive X direction, there it is. These are the 64-bit far lands. As you can see, they just look broken because of the, well, the stripe lands just make them look broken. But if I just quickly turn on the stripe lands fix, there they are. These are the 64-bit far lands. Now, they get cut off at 128 blocks for some reason, and that isn't even the height limit in this version. The height limit is 256 blocks, but the 64-bit far lands just seem to get cut off at 128, which allows things like trees to generate on top. Ooh, look at that. Actual land. Okay, this is the corner 64-bit far lands. I cannot move because of the stripe lands. Now, as you can see here, for some reason, they start getting pretty repetitive as they near the corner. Right now, the repetitive chunks have gone to such a degree that it's just one chunk, then the same, then the same, then the same, just repeating. As you can see, the biome overflow. Okay, so as you can see, okay, here so yeah, there isn't really much to show off here, I don't know. So you may be wondering, what about the 64-bit farther lands? Well, 64-bit farther lands should generate around 80 times further away than these, which gave me around this number. I'm not exactly sure if these are... Oh my... Oh my gosh. Okay, so as you can see here, there's some messed up world rendering here. And like things like flower generation have just been broken. Like they just reduced to a single look at that. Look, see, ore and dirt like, underground mineral generation has just been reduced to a single strip. Just everything has been so disoriented and stuff after all this distance. I'm not exactly sure if we're actually at the... Yeah, look at that. And if we teleport this way in both directions... What is that? A hole. Whoa. I just get this. All this really messed up. Oh my gosh. What have I done? Look at that. And I am going to try teleporting to this coordinate, and okay. Okay, so that should be the corner farlands, and this is the edge farlands. I am... Yeah, as you can just see the broken terrain. Let me just get back to a good position. Okay, so, well, that's basically it for this video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you want to download this mod, the link is in the description. I might do more videos like this for those who don't like my Smash It content as much and just want to see more videos like this. And if you do like things like this more than Smash It, just say it in the comments below. So, yeah, that's it for this video, and bye.